This amusement park is located in Indiana. The boardwalk atmosphere is what makes Indiana Beach special. The roller coasters appealed to me the most. I just knew I had to get a visit. But was the theme park as good as I expected? Stay tuned to find out whether Indiana Beach is worth visiting. People have an affinity for smaller amusement parks. The hype for Indiana Beach is what prompted me to take the 5-hour drive to finally experience this roller coaster collection. I have only heard great things about the park. The roller coasters obviously sold me to visit, but the little things are the reason I stayed for the experience. So let's begin with discussing the roller coasters. Each ride here is very unique. The additions to this park aren't anything you can find at most parks across America. I'll start off with one of the most unique rides out there. Steelhawk greeted me with a commanding presence when I turned into the parking lot. This is the first of its kind roller coaster. The SNSL logo is a rare roller coaster model, and I'm so glad to have experienced it. The ride layout is dynamic. The inversions and airtime are blended together well. I'm a huge fan of the power this ride packs. It's somewhat unexpected. Maybe this is due to Alan Schilke's genius layout design. There's that quick, fast-paced lift hill that leads into the action-packed ride to come. It's very steep and very quick. You almost have no time to even look around because you'll be at the top of the near 100-foot roller coaster before you feel like the ride began. It all starts with that first drop. Absolutely bonkers. There's some sort of trim at the top, but the trains are short so it doesn't affect the drop too much. You'll still be out of your seat for some great airtime, but that's not even the best moment of airtime on the ride. That's just a testament to how much I enjoy the ride's layout. The subsequent hill you rocket up provides some insane out of your seat airtime. It's a quick transition and kicks the ride into being the high intensity thrill machine. The restraint can be a little restrictive, so during this element specifically, you will rise hard into these. They didn't dig into my shoulders at all, so I thought the element was tolerable. Then the following standout element is that first inversion, the dive loop. You get countless seconds of hang time. It's just as absurd as it looks off-ride. Honestly, this might be one of my favorite inversions on a roller coaster. Hang time is a thing I admire in inversions. Usually I'm not the biggest fan of inversions, but when the hang time is done right, I'm a huge fan of them. This is the case for Steelhawk, because even the next inversion has sustained hang time. You will be out of your seat for numerous seconds. Overall, it's a great steel coaster, and just what the park needed to complement the amazing wood roller coasters. Speaking of, next is the park's unique wooden roller coaster, Lost Coaster of Superstition Mountain. This CCI snuck up on me. I heard the hype, but I never understood it. Now I see it. This ride mixes great theming with a great ride experience. This is the best theme for a roller coaster in the park. It's no question. And that's not to mention that great ride experience. Back car rides with the backwards seating is by far the way to go. I got a ton of airtime, and there was so much laterals. For such a small roller coaster, I was blown away by the power. None of the hills are sustained, it's all quick pops of laterals or airtime. Plus, there's no restrictions with a lap bar. You're in what feels like a steel cage. It's definitely what separates the ride from your typical wooden roller coasters. The theming mixed with the weird trains and elevator lift makes this a cool roller coaster to say I've experienced. An elevator lift on a wooden roller coaster to me was one of the coolest things ever. I've experienced these before, but only on a steel roller coaster. So, Lost Coaster of Superstition Mountain is easily a ride worth riding simply because of its differing elements from typical wooden roller coasters. This ride was definitely a ride I was looking forward to riding, but the ride I wanted to ride the most was Cornball Express. This ended up being one of my favorite CCI roller coasters. It's only 55 feet tall. This ride is elite in the front or the back row. The ride is drastically different from front to back. If you were to ask me what my favorite row on the ride was, I'd probably tell you that I just need more re-rides. I think back row offers the better finale, and overall, front has more ejector moments, but the back has stronger airtime. This is by far one of the best wooden roller coasters in the Midwest. A trip to the Midwest isn't complete without visiting Indiana Beach for a ride or two on Cornball Express. I could go in depth about the ride, with its great restraints allowing you to be out of your seat more, but I might save my thoughts for a later video. The same for All American Triple Loop. I already have a video showcasing the awesome nature of their newest roller coaster in the park. It was a great addition for this year. I think it's very overhated and a great intense ride. Finally, the park's family roller coaster is Tigger. It's made by the same manufacturer that made Whizzer at Six Flags Great America, and they feel roughly similar. While Tigger is the inferior ride, it's still a lot of fun with exceptional near-miss elements and great laterals scattered throughout the layout. Not to mention a long layout in a small plot of land. A ride I was unable to ride was Cyclone, but I don't think I missed out on much. Now let's discuss the other attractions. The park has an amazing collection of flat rides. I was most upset that their yo-yo was closed, as it looks like a fun ride. I didn't ride the Upcharge attraction that looked to be a blend of a haunted house and fun house. I think if I had more time at the park, I would have checked it out. I tried out their Skyway. This slow, scenic attraction takes you high above the midway. You get great views of the roller coasters and the water. It's so cool when you see rides going while you're on the Skyway. This ride was probably my favorite flat ride that I rode on my visit. There's a few other rides I didn't do, but if I spent more time at the park, I would have ridden them. I decided not to since they have the typical rides you can find at most other amusement parks. Similarly, Bay Beach Amusement Park has many of the same attractions that Indiana Beach does. This of course includes the yo-yo, the big wheel, and both parks have a scrambler. These two parks also boast a similar atmosphere. It's difficult to explain, but the primary difference is that Indiana Beach contains more roller coasters and is a boardwalk situated on the water rather than next to the water like Bay Beach. I tend to enjoy the atmospheres of these smaller parks, and it's cool to say you have visited a park that not many people may have on their radars. One thing I love about Indiana Beach is that tickets are relatively cheap and you're definitely getting what you're paying for. I think the roller coasters more than make up for the time and money it takes to get to the amusement park. The same is said for the food. Plus, no visit to Indiana Beach is complete without eating their famous tacos. They're just as good as advertised. Overall, I don't think I have many bad things to say about this park. I'm glad I finally was able to get out of my way to visit and knock it off my bucket list. Let me know your favorite roller coaster at Indiana Beach in the comments below. Thank you for watching.